Conventions are normally highly choreographed, minutely orchestrated events. But as we saw here in this room once again tonight, things are rarely normal when it's the Trump show. Fear and loathing on the floor of the convention tonight. The target of the anger, Texas Senator Ted Cruz, who ran against Trump in the primaries, but who refused to endorse him here tonight, even as the crowd loudly called on him to do so.
I appreciate the enthusiasm of the New York delegation.
Enough was enough, apparently, for Trump. It was time to upstage him. Trump walking into the room, drawing the cameras away as Cruz was still at the podium.
Together for shared values by standing for liberty. God bless each and every one of you.
It really got ugly here in this room as the delegates turned their anger at Cruz's wife, Heidi, who had to be escorted out.
Well, people behind her were getting very ugly and physically approaching her, and it was not a pretty situation.
This was the culmination of a long, bitter season of rancor between these two men.
I'm going to tell you what I really think of Donald Trump. This man is a pathological liar.
Honestly, I think he's crazy. Lion Ted does not have the temperament to be doing this.
And the instant verdict among experts appeared to be that it was a miscalculation for Ted Cruz. Did Cruz hurt himself or help himself tonight?
I mean, wow, in a year of political first is another first that a major candidate comes in and doesn't endorse the nominee of the party. I think Cruz made a totally miscalculated risk in this. I think he hurt himself in the short term, and he hurt himself in the long term. If his ambition is to run for president, if Trump loses, I think this hurts him in that effort.
And how does Trump come out of all this?
I think Trump actually comes out of this as a bigger, larger-than-life figure that now looks like he's the one that unified the party. Instead of having others help him, he looks like as his entrance came in and Mike Pence's speech was done, I think he looks like the unifying figure of the Republican Party and the brand of the Republican Party.
The Cruz uproar may have overshadowed what was supposed to be the main event tonight.
I accept your nomination to run and serve as Vice President of the United States of America.
The primetime speech of Trump's vice presidential pick, Indiana Governor Mike Pence.
I'm a Christian, a conservative, and a Republican in that order.
A devout Christian and hero of cultural conservatives, his job tonight to help his new boss unite a clearly divided party.
It's change versus status quo. And my fellow Republicans, when Donald Trump becomes president of the United States of America, the change will be huge.
At the end of Pence's speech tonight, Trump strode out on stage to congratulate his guy and to give him a sort of awkward air kiss.
It was the first speech in my mind that actually started talking outside of the choir and to the people in the pew, and I think that Mike Pence did a good job on that.
The day started with another dramatic entrance for Trump. Here he is touching down in his chopper. We saw him walking alongside his adult children, but interestingly, not his wife, Melania. The last time we saw her here, it was right after giving that now infamous speech, with those striking similarities to Michelle Obama's convention speech from 2008.
Because we want our children and all children in this nation to know,
because we want our children in this nation to know
that the only limit to the height of your achievements is the reach of your dreams and your willingness to work hard for them.
That the only limit to your achievements is the strength of your dreams and your willingness to work for them.
Today, an employee of the Trump Organization named Meredith McIver released a letter taking the blame, saying Melania read me some passages from Mrs. Obama's speech as examples. I wrote them down and later included some of the phrasing in the draft that ultimately became the final speech. This was my mistake. Left unanswered, why did Melania herself not recognize the similarity to the passages that she had personally shared with McIver? Today, McIver said she'd offered her resignation to Mr. Trump and the Trump family, but they rejected it. Trump spoke about it all in an exclusive interview with ABC's George Stephanopoulos.
How about this speech by Melania? We learned today that someone who works with you all, Meredith McIver, offered her resignation. Why not accept it? Weren't you angry? She's been with me a long time. She's a very good person. And I thought it was terrific the way she came forward and just said, look, it was a mistake that I made. And she thought it was very unfair to Melania.
How's she handling all this?
She handles it well. She's a strong woman. She's a good woman. I thought she made an incredible speech. I thought she made a beautiful speech.
She had that haul.
She had that haul, totally had the haul. And now that cloud is lifted off her, which is terrific, because it was very unfair.
Here on night 3, the Trump family continued its dominance of this convention. Following in the footsteps of his siblings Tiffany and Don Jr., Eric Trump taking the stage.
Vote for the one candidate who does not need this job.
He oversees the family's golf ventures and has appeared as a judge on The Apprentice.
You know, Dad, I guess to your point before, we just didn't think it was close.
But tonight, he was largely brass tacks politics and policy.
To the unemployed voter sitting at home watching me right now, wondering how you're going to make your next mortgage payment or rent payment, my father is running for you.
This is a Trump convention. This is not a Republican convention. And so this is all about him and all about his family.
Is he at risk of overdoing it?
He could be. These people here really are eager to know more, and the more they know of the Trumps, the more they like it.
Tomorrow night, it's Ivanka's turn. She's often described as her father's favorite, and she will introduce her dad for what will be the most important speech of his life. What's his job Thursday night?
His job Thursday night is to assure people that he actually can be the man sitting in the Oval Office.
George Stephanopoulos discussed with the candidate in his exclusive interview tonight.
So you've had some amazing entrances this week. You emerged out of that smoke on Monday night. You had the helicopter today. How do you top it tomorrow night?
Well, you're going to stay tuned. You're going to be there. I mean, you will definitely be there. I'm not looking for entrance, George. I'm looking for really a good grouping of words that's going to talk about our country and the problems that we have. We have deep problems. We have really deep-seated problems. So it's not about the entrance. It's about the words, and it's about getting the words done. And the only way we're going to get that taken care of is we have to, in November, do very well.
And late tonight, Trump tweeted about the Ted Cruz incident, saying Cruz failed to honor his pledge to support the eventual nominee. And then he said, quote, "I saw his speech 2 hours early, but let him speak anyway. No big deal."